What's up? What's up? Welcome back. If you haven't been here before, welcome. I just want to ask you a question. When was the last time you allowed your soul to breathe? It's the last time you let your soul breathe. You know what it's like for us to physically breathe within our bodies, but your soul needs to breathe as well. You probably asking, what does that mean? How do you let your soul breathe? Your soul screams loudest when it sees a reflection of itself. Anytime your soul sees a reflection of itself, that's when it screams the loudest. What I mean by that, whenever you see yourself, whenever your soul sees itself doing what it's supposed to do, right? Picture yourself this week. You saw, you flipping through the channels and you saw a really dope performance by an artist, and you like, dang it, I really wish I could pick up my guitar right now and and play. Or you heard some great music and it made you want to write some music. Or you was walking down the street to my skilled folks, my handy brothers and sisters. You saw some construction going on in the street. You saw a building being constructed, and you're like, man, I would love to own my own construction company. I would love to own my own architect firm and build and design. You know what I'm saying? Like throughout this month, you've constantly seen yourself, in your element, in your gifts, in your talents, in the thing that you was born to do. And what happens is we don't give our soul room to breathe and really feel and experience that feeling. What we do is we tuck it in under the cage called survival. Anytime we see a reflection of ourselves, or we see us in our element, we like, nah, I ain't got time for that. I got to go to work, or I got to go to school. If you're Nigerian, it's now I got to, get this engineering degree. I got to get this doctorate degree. I got to get this degree from my parents who wants me to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, right? We constantly put our desires back in this cage called survival. And I want to encourage you guys today to breathe. Allow your soul to breathe. When you see a reflection of what you want to do, what you're gifted in doing, who you are at your purest form as a designer, an architect, a creative, a businessman, businesswoman, a producer. When you see that thing in the streets, at work, at school, on television, give yourself permission to breathe. As a matter of fact, if this is the weekend for you, let this weekend be an opportunity for you to just breathe. And what I mean by breathing, that's really imagining yourself in that position. Yeah, I feel some of you like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I want to get my hopes up. Yeah, get your hopes up. Get your hopes up. Allow yourself. When's the last time you allowed yourself to really go there? I do an exercise with my students for my nonprofit GPA. We call it soul breathing. When was you last time you really sat and went there mentally and just imagine yourself in your element and was just like, that feels good. Like really think about it, because there's more to life, y'all, than meeting obligations. Like that's what we've been doing most of our lives. Hashtag adulting, right? There's more to life than meeting obligations. Like once you become an adult, your life typically revolves around these responsibilities, right? And they increase once you have dependents, once you have kids, a significant other, you have parents that you're taking care of, grandparents, family, whoever it is. It's one thing to struggle on your own. It's another thing to struggle when you have dependents. Like those two struggles are totally different. I remember struggling, climbing up this actor world as a single man with no kids, no wife, that's a different struggle. That to me was easy. It's totally different with a whole family. And what I find myself doing from time to time, because I'm such a creative and such an artist, but I have responsibilities as well, I tuck my dreams away. When I would watch a good performance or something, I would tuck it away like, nah, don't think like that, Dale. You got to wake up in the morning, you got to go to work, you got bills to pay. And it's like, whoa, dude, like I'm guilty of this myself. I wrote a whole section about this in my book, and I'm still guilty of it because day to day, I'm locked up in survival. My soul is caged in a place called survival because the first of the month, as I always say, it has no respect of persons. Doesn't care who you are, doesn't care what you're trying to accomplish. It doesn't care. So we're programmed to constantly put all of our energy into survival, into paying bills, into making sure, the family is straight. But what I want you to do right now is take a moment. It costs you nothing to breathe and imagine and picture yourself going there, right? Like, because truth be told, your soul has something to say about all of this. There's a reason why you respond subconsciously when you see an artist performing, when you see a musician playing their instrument, when you hear a certain song, when you see or watch, for my fellow actors, you watch a certain performance, whether on stage or on television. There's a reason why when you're walking down the street and you see construction going on and you see yourself owning this bit, there's a reason why you subconsciously have that response, and you look at it and then you let's not do that. That little subtle response, it's something to say about that. That's your soul. Your soul is defined as intellectual and emotional energy. We're trapping this energy into this cage called survival. I want you to take a moment and breathe and let that thing breathe for a moment by imagining. Like, just take 20 minutes and just imagine all of the steps. What I do sometimes is when I'm watching a good performance and I'm hyped, I'm like, man, I could see myself doing that. And then before I flip the channel, be like, nope, talk to myself back into it. No, Dale, sit there. Imagine yourself auditioning for the role. Imagine yourself getting the call back. Now I'm in it now. I imagine myself auditioning. I imagine getting a call from my agent. They want you. You got the job. You got the part. Woo! Excitement. I imagine myself, coming to the table read with the director, meeting my castmates. I imagine myself, shooting on day one and how crazy I'm be acting, being a clown on set. I imagine myself, on the last day of shooting. All right, it's a wrap. And the excitement of, we just shot this great story, this film, this show, this sitcom, whatever. I imagine myself, being nominated for Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor. I imagine the cast being nominated for Best Ensemble. I go all the way there, all the way up till I'm holding up my award trophy and I'm giving my acceptance speech. And I'm thanking those who supported me along the way, because I didn't get there by myself. See that whole process, that right there, I just said it in about 30 seconds. But sometimes that could be 10 minutes. Sometimes it could be 45 minutes of me just sitting there, just daydreaming, just going there. And then by the time I snap out of it, I'm like, whoo, it feels good. And then you know what creeps in? Reality. Like, oh shoot, I still gotta work. But that reality is now coupled with passion and fire, because I still have the responsibilities. I still got to work. I still got to make things happen. But I've just put this thing back in the forefront. So now I have to work on it. As much as I got to work and keep the lights on, I got to work and keep this light on. I got to keep my internal light on. I got to keep my soul on fire. You know the beauty about a soul is it's passion. It's fire. If you've ever, here I go, I'm jumping again. If you've ever seen a house that was on fire and firefighters come, they put, the fire out. You know the reason why they go inside and they make sure every single fire is out? Because there's always like a little flicker of flame that is in a corner somewhere. That little flicker, that little bit of flame that's still there, it can reignite and set the whole house on fire again if it's not burnt to the ground already. That little bit of flame, because all it needs is a little bit of oxygen. That's why I need you to breathe. All your soul needs is a little bit of oxygen. Just breathe. And by breathing, I mean imagining. Go through the motions of you starting that business, of you applying for that position. Go through the motions of you started building that nonprofit. Go through the motions of you, painting that masterpiece. Whatever your medium is, your gift is, go through the motions mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Because now you bring that into prayer. You bring that thought, that idea into prayer. You bringing that now before God, before your creator. So now you gotta face with it. You gotta face it. You're forced to face it, right? You're forced to face it. These F's. You're forced to face it every day. Now you gotta work on it. It's no longer in the back burner. It's in the forefront. Now you have these two competing obligations. Don't let survival just be your only obligation. Your passion has to be your obligation as well. Your gift has to be your obligation. Your creativity has to be your obligation as well, because you were born to do this. If you weren't born to do it, it wouldn't bother you every time you see it. If you was not born to do this thing, you wouldn't be as passionate as you are about it, and it wouldn't hurt you as much every time you think about it. Do not let your dreams die because of survival. It's one thing to be caged in survival, it's another thing to die in survival. There are too many people who died without letting their dreams come to fruition. And that's not going to be you. It's not going to be you, because you're going to pick it up. You're going to make it happen, right? You're going to make that thing happen. You're going to shift that attitude. You're going to exude that positive energy because you're allowing yourself to breathe. It's who you are. It's who you were created to be. And I just wanted to encourage you guys on that, because this perspective of living what you love is hard. It is incredibly difficult. But I'm telling you, when you are crystal clear on the life you were created to live, you can better manage your obligations until you get your breakthrough. Now it's about that 9 to 5. Now it's about better managing it and being in a better headspace. You can go to that job that you don't like in a better headspace, because you're telling yourself, I'm only here for a certain amount of time. As a matter of fact, I'm here using these coins not only to pay these bills, but also to fund my vision, to fund my business, to fund my idea. So now your perspective changes on the 9 to 5 that you're clocking in on every day. Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday, whatever your schedule is, your perspective changes until you ultimately get your breakthrough. So now when you're walking into your job, they're like, why are you so happy? Why are you're not miserable like the rest of us anymore? Because your perspective has changed. You allow your soul to breathe. I'm telling you, for those of you who are off on the weekends, use the weekend to do this. Use the weekend. Yeah, I know you're going to turn up, you're going to do your thing. Whatever it is you do on the weekend, take time to breathe, to let your soul breathe. It's in a cage. It's in that cage of survival. It's up to you. You're the one that have the keys to allow it to breathe from time to time. If you've ever seen dogs that walk by like a gate, that a dog walking by a gate and then it sees another dog, what they do? They start barking. Like the dog on the leash is barking, your dog is barking, and then the dog inside of the cage is barking as well, because they see a reflection of each other. They're both, one is leashed, the other one is caged. They speak each other's language. They know what time it is. They're begging to be free, begging to be released, to go do what they do, to go be in their element. That's what your soul looks like every time it sees a reflection of itself. Every time it sees itself doing what you're supposed to be doing, what you're born to do. Because otherwise, it's never going to be satisfied. And with this kind of clarity, it's incredibly difficult to accept a life of normalcy. When you are clear on your gifts, your abilities, when you know you, I'm talking to you here. I'm talking to you. You know where you are at your best. You know what you can do with your eyes closed. You know what you were born to do. When it comes to this particular thing, nobody does it like you. You got it. You can do this, hands tied behind your back. That thing is what I'm talking about. Whatever that is, right? When you are clear on that, it's difficult for you to accept a life of normalcy. You become allergic to normal. That's another video. But I remember, if y'all know the songs, y'all know I'm a hip hop head, and Jay-Z got a song on first album, Reasonable Doubt, called Can I Live? And Reasonable Doubt album. And he says, I'd rather die enormous than live dormant. That's one of the many great lines in that album. But he says, I'd rather die enormous than live dormant. In other words, your soul would rather depart from your body than to live in a cage of survival. This is a realization most people come to later in life. When I say later, I mean between the ages of like 45 to 60, that midlife crisis age, that's when most people like come to this realization of, oh my goodness, like I did not pursue my passions. You ever seen people with a midlife crisis or know somebody that's gone through it or seen it on TV? It's like all of a sudden they buying motorcycles, they washing out their their savings account, they cleaning it out, they starting a business, they going back to school. It's like they got all this life, and the rest of the family looking at them like, what are you doing? And the truth is they're responding to the scream that they didn't attend to when they were 15, 16, 17, 20, 25. That scream, I'm talking about their soul. They're finally responding to their soul that's been trying to breathe for years. Y'all remember Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Please, y'all got to get a copy of Pipe Dreams. Get your copy of this book. Like, I dissect all of the stuff in the book. There's a scene in there, the episode where Aunt Viv, when she was auditioning for a dance part, she was trying to get back into the dance. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And she went in there and, she was rusty. She, it's been a minute. But she went back, she rehearsed, she practiced, and went back into the audition the next time, got the routine down packed, and killed it, right? And there was a scene where the highlight of this episode when it was her family. Her family was like, they was in the living room with her. They was like, you need to take it easy. She was like, there's an audition next week. I'm going back and yada, yada. They're like, yo, you need to take it easy. She goes, take it easy. Like, I took it easy 20 years ago when I got that teaching degree. Blew my mind. Then she says, I don't want to take the comfortable road anymore. No one's going to stop me from being a dancer. Now there's an audition in the next 3 weeks, and I'm going to take every class I can. I'm going to show the world that Vivian Banks can dance. Like, that scene gave me chills watching it recently. I was watching it on HBO Max. Like, it gave me chills because it felt like her soul was finally getting a chance to breathe. She was setting her soul free after all these years, which means it's never too late. It's never too late to pursue your pipe dreams. That's all a midlife crisis is. It's pursuing your pipe dreams later on in life. That's truly what it is. Now, we can learn from these experiences, y'all. We can learn from an Aunt Viv or whoever else has gone through a midlife crisis. Ultimately, you're going to your soul is going to bust out and breathe at some point. You could let it out now, or you could wait for your latter years. Either way, I say do not wait for a midlife crisis to happen, to allow your soul to breathe. So go there. Allow yourself to go to that place. When your soul starts to speak, allow it. Like, the more you see it, the more steps you take to make it happen. And as a result, you'll be in a better headspace to endure the process. You'll be in a better headspace to deal with the monotony of life, the day-to-day, the business, the job, the kids, the responsibility. You'll be in a much better headspace. I'm not saying all of this is going to take away from the responsibilities, no, but you'll be in a better headspace to manage your responsibilities while pursuing your pipe dreams. So I just want to encourage you guys today to breathe. Breathing's going to take on a whole new definition for you guys from now on. But yeah, take the same way you physically take a deep breath every now and then. It's the same way you got to let your soul take that deep breath. Not only does it feel good, but it's putting your gift back in the forefront and making you chase them, making you pursue your pipe dream, making you go after what you were called to do, what you were gifted to do. The rest is on you. Thank you guys for watching. For those of you guys that are coming back, welcome back to this channel. For those of you watching for the first time, welcome. My name is Deo. To my Nigerians, my name is Daya. I accept either or. Y'all don't come for me today. Go to the website, dayolatokun.com, and you can get your copy of my book, Pipe Dreams, Principles to Live What You Love, or go to Amazon and get your copy. Do me a favor, if you have your copy already, go to Amazon and just post your review up on Amazon. I talk about all of this stuff here in this book. There's so many nuggets in here. I dive deeper into this stuff. When you get the book, you can go through this journey on your own and have your own self-reflective journey and push yourself, to where you need to be. You always need a community. Like this channel for me is, I love being a part of a community because I am a part of a community myself. So I hope I can be an added value to your community of your pipe dreams, of your purpose, of your destiny. So yeah, get your copy of the book. The link is somewhere in here, looking on this channel, on this page, and you can get your copy, get it on Amazon or wherever you get your books. But the book is available everywhere books are sold. All right, so as always, man, enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend. Don't forget, live what you love. Peace.